Hello everybody, welcome back to Go Card Reviews. We're back with another edition of the Scrapbook. We are here on episode 3, Grievances with Heart of the Cards and World Grand Prix. Now, for those who don't know, the World Grand Prix is an annual circuit officially sanctioned by Bushiroad themselves, held in the summer and fall, in the Northern Hemisphere at least, where players attempt their shot at the World Championship by qualifying through regional events and subsequent national or continental events. Heart of the Cards is a distributor based in the United States under contract with Bushiroad to host and run the North American leg of the World Grand Prix with cooperation from participating local game stores throughout the United States and Canada as the regional qualifiers, with its headquarters as the continental qualifier. However, we do have to note there have been some issues with the way Heart of the Cards runs World Grand Prix and sanctioned play for Weiss Schwarz.
Oh boy, do I have a lot of complaints.
We're going to begin with none other than point number 1, disproportionate distribution of invites. Heart of the Cards does its best to assign a number of invites to each regional qualifier based on the number of players expected to show up. However, this is not always the case. Sometimes a regional receives a larger number of invites than expected due to a variety of reasons. To demonstrate, the only World Grand Prix regional qualifier in Arizona in the year of 2017 once received a total of 4 invites with a turnout of 6 players. In contrast, a California World Grand Prix regional qualifier that same year received a paltry 2 invites with a turnout of over 32 players.
Okay, so that is fucking ridiculous. It's like, does its best my ass. Because, by the way, that same quote unquote shop in Arizona still receives 4 invites every single year, and they have less than 10 people showing up every single year.
And I believe this California World Grand Prix regional that receives the 2 invites in 2017 continues to receive 2 invites despite getting like 32 players plus.
32 players is all that shop can hold. It's more like 50 plus. They hold round 0 every single year just to eliminate people from even participating for the invites. Like, it's kind of funny because Florida, one of the bigger states, only receives 4 invites total for the state.
And
Florida has a.
We are going to get to more on that particular problem in a later part of this video.
and the thing is that, okay, we're going to provide a solution, what we propose as a solution later on, but at the same time, I go Rochester, New York, Hammer Girl Anime, the headquarters of World Grand Prix and Heart of the Cards. They give themselves 6 seats.
It's not 8?
I believe it's only 6.
Oh, it's something ridiculously high.
And they get the same amount of players that the California shop gets. Yet they give themselves 3 times the amount. Okay, I get it. Home field advantage. But at the same time, I go, some states don't even have World Grand Prix. Period.
Yeah, you go on that list there. You see maybe like up to 20 states of the 50 in the United States listed.
I mean, like Alaska, for example, gets 0 coverage. I mean, my own native state of Hawaii only gets 4. But even my own native state, I think they have maybe 24 players max. They get 4 invites. Like, I usually you hear me lambast California, but I feel bad for the Californians. Actually, I feel bad for you guys. It's like you guys have proportionally the largest player base in the country, and you guys have the highest state population as touted by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Right. Now, I will go ahead and play devil's advocate really quickly here as to like why this could be. One of the reasons is just simply so, as we will be mentioning later, there is only one location for the Continental Qualifier. And historically speaking, since the North American World Grand Prix has started in 2013, very, very few Californians who qualify actually make the trip. So, part of the question actually goes, what's the point of giving so many invites when you're not even going to use them? It's probably what they're thinking. We can't confirm or deny either way. So, moving along.
But at the same time, one last point for this one. My own home state of Nevada. Well, okay. It's one of those things that, we only get 2 invites, but we only get maybe 10, 12 players. Like, our best was 18 2 years ago. But then again, that includes, Californians that came in. So I was just like, well, at the same time, we barely send our people there. For the past 2 years, I've been the sole reason why we've managed to send our people there. I've managed to carry the torch. 3 years ago, again, we did send our representatives. We've been sending our representatives every single year. In fact, if I didn't carry the torch for the past 2 years, we probably would get 0 invites. We probably would get 0. In fact, Luke would probably give our seats to California.
It's kind of unfortunate how that works.
But I get Luke's logic. He wants people that will actually go.
For those of you who don't know, Luke is the guy that runs half the cars like a whole shebang.
And he owns Hamburger Anime. Pretty much, he is the head judge. So we'll just refer to him by name from here on out.
Speaking of judges, that's what we're going to talk about next. Regional judges, but no power. So Hardcore Cars does mandate that each regional qualifier in the North American World Grand Prix circuit require a judge to be present. However, these judges are to remain in constant contact with a representative at Hardcore Cars during the events they are presiding over. Alongside possible connection problems, delays can also occur as a result of players attempting to appeal rulings made by regional judges, as those appeals are directed to the head judge, Luke himself, at Heart of the Cards headquarters.
So, funny thing, our judges are more like rules advisors. In fact, they actually don't even provide many rules advices majority of the time.
No.
They don't even provide that. Like, when it comes to a ruling, you're kind of on your own, actually. Like, you're kind of expected to know the rulings yourself as a player. That's kind of... It's kind of hilarious because at the local level, your judge could be, the same could have the same knowledge base as Luke himself at Heart of the Cards. But at the same time, your regional judge could be like, sorry dude, I can't. Like, I can understand in terms of punishment. I get it. In terms of punishments, sure, that should be at the discretion of Heart of the Cards. But in terms of like actual rulings, like in terms of card interactions, like, hello? If your local judge can answer it, they should be able to answer it for you immediately.
Now, of course, your mileage may vary. Some places do have judges that are like a bit more meticulous about what they're doing. But
Now, of course. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, but as we've said, because of how they remain in constant contact with Heart of the Cards during the event, it does kind of create this awkward interaction between players and the judges at their regionals, just because it's kind of like they had to kind of wait for a response from someone in another part of the continent for a response.
I mean, in some cases, the time zones could be up to 3 or 6 hours off. Like, you could be holding your qualifier at noon, say it's 12 noon. It's noon in Hawaii, but it's 6 p.m. in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So they may take a bit to respond, and you might have a problem immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And your judge might be like, I know exactly what to do in this case, but I have to wait for official HOTC instruction.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, that is, as a player, that would kind of annoy me.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, your judge may vary too.
Mm-hmm.
Some judges, particularly in my local area, he doesn't really care that we don't play rock, paper, scissors to determine turn order. In fact, if you were to take surveillance footage of our World Grand Prix, you'll see that almost every single match is decided by dice roll. Turn order is decided by dice roll. Now, again, your mileage may vary, man. I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, yours. Actually, I'll let you say about yours on that.
Well, a very recent one I went to. This is where I talk about the meticulous judge. This person much prefers to follow Heart of the Cards policies to a T. So, yep, begin every round. Okay, when everyone's ready, we're gonna do rock, paper, scissors.
Even though that consumes far more time than a simple dice roll.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, every freaking round. That's what the guy did.
Oh my god, that adds easily an extra 30 minutes onto your tournament time. Easily.
Well, speaking of time.
Oh, wait.
Oh, we're not quite there yet?
No, we are definitely not quite there yet. Now, at the same time, I go, it's kind of funny because HOTC is not even really consistent on their own policies at the time. Like, I've seen similar infractions. Similar infractions not even get the same punishment. I go, wait, what? I've seen people get disqualified due to sleeves. And then I saw simple warnings for sleeves. I go, wait, what? And of course, the regional judge goes, man, if it were up to me, I would just slap your wrist with a warning. That's it. But it's not up to me, man. Sorry, you're done. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. But anyway, I think we can move on, actually.
Yep, speaking of bullshit. What the tournament software says goes. So, Heart of the Cards requires that all regional qualifier tournament organizers use the same software developed by Bushiroad. Normally, a World Grand Prix regional qualifier ends whenever the number of players with no losses at the event drops below the number of invites assigned. So if it's 2 and there's only 1 undefeated person left, that's where your tournament ends. However, the tournament software can and will abruptly end events as a result of players with no losses getting a double loss as a result of a penalty. As an example, failing to reach a victory or defeat condition in the 30 minutes allotted for each round.
Oh boy, this is a spicy one. That tournament software makes you go, what the fuck? Because I don't know about you, man, but I think that Bushiroad was high when they developed this tournament software. It must have some really good drugs. Oh man, I've seen that tournament software go, okay, so we'll pair up this 1-0 guy with the guy who lost last round. What? This early in the tournament? Excuse me? I lost! He won!
And was that because of an uneven number of players?
We had 18 that year.
Alright, so that means there'll be... 18 means that there are 9, after round 1, 9 undefeated, 9 people with losses. So someone does have to get paired down and paired up as a result.
But at the same time... What?
I think any tournament software does that.
Still, it makes me go SMH. It makes me go SMH because I just go, I mean, I basically gave the guy a bye because I got unlucky. So, but at the same time, that ruins the 1-0's tournament record. That ruins it.
It does. So you tournament software, there's no such thing as a perfect one, as far as we're concerned.
Yeah. Right, but at the same time, I go, okay. Now, okay, the second point. I get it. We're forced to use Bushiroad's tournament software. We're forced to use it. That goes to all regional qualifiers throughout the world.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go, okay. That double loss penalty. Oh my god. I get it. It's to avoid ties and tricking the tournament software. It's basically to avoid collusion. Bushiroad really is against collusion.
Mm-hmm.
Intentional draws.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've seen this problem in other card games.
Oh, definitely. And they're pretty much every card game developer worth its salt does have some kind of clause in their comprehensive or competitive guidelines that say, hey, collusion is simply not allowed and is penalized by disqualification from the event and maybe even banned from playing in events for X amount of time.
Right. But Bushiroad just avoids the problem by issuing you both a loss instead. I get that. In fact, I actually prefer Bushiroad's solution. No, there is no ban from the game. You just get issued a loss in response.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of my biggest things about the double loss system is it cuts down the number of decks that are viable. Like, heal spam decks are not viable anymore thanks to double loss.
Mm-hmm.
Remember everybody's fear of Charlotte?
Yeah.
Now, Charlotte's biggest opponent in tournaments is not any particular set in the game. It's the 30-minute time limit. That is Charlotte's biggest weakness because, again, Charlotte has nothing but defensive tools. It has no finisher. All it has is 3 vanilla swings a turn. Now, while most people would say, yeah, Charlotte is a good deck, I don't disagree. Charlotte is a good deck.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely overpriced, but extremely good.
Mm-hmm.
However, Charlotte does face 30 minutes or less. Now, for example, Osamatsu-san. Here in the state of Nevada, Osamatsu-san. It was Osamatsu-san versus, I don't remember. I think it was Crayon Shin-chan.
I believe it.
It was one of the 3 guys from California. It was either Crayon Shin. It wasn't TLR. It was either Crayon Shin-chan or I can't remember what the other Californian played.
Was it just two guys that basically had like a heel heavy top end?
Yeah, basically it was nothing but heel spam.
Crayon Shin-chan sounds about right. Like, yes, they have like a burn 1 combo, but that just heals anyway, so.
I mean, Osamatsu technically has a healing clock kick.
Yeah, but they're mainly focused on the healing part of the card, not really the extra instance of damage on the card.
Right. So it's 2 heal spam decks. And time was called. They both lost.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, much to both players' chagrin, honestly, at the time, I was just like, wait, the tournament's over? Who wins? And of course, the judge tells me, isn't it obvious? Really? He really? Soul Sleeper wins. Yep, Soul Sleeper won. Holy shit, what the fuck? Well, I guess we owe you a bunch of money then, man. I can't believe we owe this guy money. Holy shit. They had the look of they had that flabbergasted look on their face.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I was just like, in retrospect, I feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad because they lost to the 30-minute time limit. Now, at the same time, Soul Sleeper was on fire that day, so I highly doubt they could have beaten Soul Sleeper. Was on fucking fire.
But
my God.
All in all, the system does definitely create problems in more ways than one.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I get it. It's more of. I think my biggest problem with the software is that, well, it doesn't really. How should I say this? I think my biggest problem is not really the software. It's more that 30-minute time limit. Like, I'd love to play more defensive decks, but I just can't. I can't justify
the time limit is a little rough. Now, some people who have played in earlier versions of the World Grand Prix will remember that there was a 35-minute time limit because of the whole translation deal. Until Heart of Cards picked up on people going, oh wait, y'all just remember what these cards do by just, like, we're not going to admit it, but we know that y'all are shortcutting by looking at pictures and associating them with card abilities.
What? They should give us back the fucking 35-minute time limit, man. They should.
Well, we'll see, right?
I mean, or even extend it to 45 minutes.
Whoa, 45 minutes of Weiss Schwarz.
Hey man, have you watched the scrims, man? Sometimes duels do take that long.
Yeah, you're right. But if they did, occasionally.
Oh, come on.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We're not about a problem that will really get Gavin rolling here.
Oh boy.
Stay off my lawn! With so many players trying to earn their invites to play at the Continental Qualifier, there will be among them players who will go as far as traveling across state and even country borders to get additional chances to qualify. This is compounded by an unequal distribution of regional qualifiers with a high concentration existing in some metropolitan areas with multiple shops specializing in Weiss Schwarz, such as the greater Los Angeles region in California, and a low concentration in more sparsely populated regions such as a sole regional qualifier in the entire state of Nevada, alongside an already limited capacity to earn invites. This can easily skew invites away from the individual local areas they were intended for.
Oh, like exactly like the title says, stay off my goddamn lawn here. Holy shit. Invaders, get the fuck out. You know, if you're visiting another state, for other purposes, then you should be focusing on those other purposes. Not just because, hey, I happen to be in the area. Hey, let's go play in this tournament. Now, I understand. Some people are like, well, you know, I won't have the chance to participate. If I don't have the chance to participate in my local area. Okay, that's fine. So what I would propose is everybody gets one chance. Like, it doesn't matter where you participate, you get one shot at it. You get one shot at a regional qualifier, and if you lose there, you can't participate in any other regional qualifiers. Because, again, it doesn't promote invasion. It doesn't promote invasion. It's just an alternative to participating. Now, of course, there are still problems with even my proposed solution. At the same time, okay, California, as of 2019, had 16 seats. Had 16 seats, the highest of any state, including New York. New York has 14. So, I think Luke's reasoning for that, you know, the reason why I feel justified saying stay off my lawn is because the Californians, especially you people absolutely love invading other states, but you people have the highest invite count out of any single state in the nation. So I don't see why you feel justified going to another state and saying, "Hey, give me your invites." I'm like, "Excuse me? You shouldn't even be allowed here, sir. You already failed. You want another chance? Last chance qualifiers are over there."
Mm-hmm.
Now, last chance qualifiers have gotten a lot more sweaty in the past couple years. Oh man, it's been rough. Trust me, there are a lot of people that have failed to get their invites. There are a lot of good players. They've gotten screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
No, but at the same time, this kind of goes back to the whole uneven distribution of invites. Because think about it for a second here. California's Weiss community is huge.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest in the nation, I'd argue. Like, by far the biggest. Then you have New York. Again. Now, again, then we have New York. Then supposedly, the rest are scattered. Then we have Texas, getting only 6 invites. For the most part, majority of people will stay within their allotted region.
Mm-hmm.
This is mostly speaking about Californians in particular. I'm not saying you, my friend, but you're a good boy. You stay within California.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about those that come over and be like, "Yo, dog, we want our seats." Or, those that come to Las Vegas or Arizona, to Phoenix. I'm like, stay off my lawn. Stay off my lawn, because now what's funny is, well, I'll say this about Las Vegas. A little known fact. They are particularly hostile towards our WGP, our representative. They don't classify him as a good player, and they'd rather have Californians take the invite over him. In fact, they consider him taking the invite as a theft of their invite, even though he lives in this town.
And he rightfully earned it.
And he has identification that can prove that he lives in this town.
Mm-hmm.
Just because y'all can't beat him, does not necessarily mean that he stole your invite.
Yeah, this is what we would call a personal problem. Because, yeah, because it was like, let's a little quote here that I've learned, some time back. If you have a problem with the facts, the problem isn't the facts.
The problem isn't the facts. You are the problem, more than anything. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, the thing is that I'm not here to bash the California. However, they seem to be one of the biggest reasons why I have this problem to begin with. And of course, majority of people are like, "Well, why not invade? Hello? You don't belong to this region." Like, for example, if you are, let's say, in fact, Bushiroad actually proposed an invasion clause in their most recent World Grand Prix rules, stating that you have to be from a certain prefecture. You need identification in order to participate. And I'm like, that's brilliant, because that stops invaders dead in their tracks. Because, using and being a former insurance agent myself, you can't have 2 driver's licenses. Once you get a driver's license in a state, you have to surrender any other driver's licenses you may have from any other state. So they couldn't just get an identification card for one state and have a driver's license for another. No, that's not how it works. The DMV won't allow you to do that.
Right. Now, of course, it gets worse in Japan because I believe just about every prefecture in Japan actually holds a WGP there. But, in, say, Canada and the United States, not every province and state holds a WGP.
Well, Hokkaido doesn't hold any.
Okay.
But, barring Hokkaido, they hold WGP pretty much every prefecture.
Definitely the entirety of Honshu has
pretty much.
Yeah.
Kyushu, not so much.
Yeah, Kyushu, not so much, but, Honshu, fair game. But, the idea is someone from Tokyo cannot just go to Sendai and get their invite there, right?
Or Kyoto.
Or Kyoto. Hmm.
But again, the same principle could apply here. Hello, Californians. Goodbye, Californians. Go enjoy the casinos. You're not playing here. Of course, this stops people from invading in general, even those that were technically invited, because some people could make friends with other tournament organizers and be quote unquote invited.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know what? I'd be willing to give up my quote unquote invite to participate in Arizona if it means forcing people to stay within their own state. I am fine with that. I'm willing to sacrifice that. Because honestly, I'd rather be forced to slug it here at home and have everybody slug it at home. Slug it out. Because I have zero problems with last chance qualifiers. I have zero problems. It's one of the most fair systems on the planet. Now, having it being held in Rochester, New York every time, well, that's a completely different story. But at the same time, do you know how strange it would be for say, Nevada to give out both of its invites to Californians? Do you know how strange that looks?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're already seeing the English game. Maybe not English Weiss Schwarz necessarily, but for like an English bistro game like Card Fight Vanguard, California more than once has given an invite to a Canadian.
No, English. I'm gonna let you guys deal with that can of worms. English and other bushy road titles. I'm gonna let you guys deal with that can of worms. But for example, Grand Prix Las Vegas. Obviously, it, those are different games have different rules basically. Like for example, a Grand Prix, yeah, it's pretty normal for people not from Las Vegas to get the invites to the Pro Tour qualifiers, I believe, or to win the event in general.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I go, Weiss is a completely different animal. Weiss, I feel very territorial. I'm really hoping that Luke / Heart of the Cards implements the region lock next year for next year's World Grand Prix, or whatever he decides to do this year. I hope it's region locked. AKA, you must show a driver's license or some form of official government ID.
And maybe if you are in a state that doesn't get to have one, but just maybe basically just like write your name in the system and make sure that you don't enter the same legal name in another qualifier in that case, right? Like let's say you're from Nebraska.
Actually, Nebraska does have a world has a World Grand Prix qualifier.
You picked the wrong state. Fine. Okay, did fricking Wisconsin get one?
Yes, actually. They got 2 invites last year.
That's right, Wisconsin does get one.
Alaska. We'll go with Alaska.
Alright, so Alaska. Let's say you want to try to get an invite in California.
Okay, sure. However, people with aliases.
Well, we're checking for legal documentation, right?
True, but at the same time, people could enter under an alias.
So you're saying if you are a resident of a state like Alaska, you're out of luck?
No, I'm not saying necessarily. No, they're not out of luck. They can always go to last chance.
Okay, so you're gonna say like, the last chance qualifiers like, hey, for you guys that want to play in Continentals, y'all gotta come all the way over here the day before to get your invite there.
Though I don't disagree with your solution. Though I don't disagree with your solution. It's just lay out the facts completely beforehand.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're not completely screwed. Even if the policy was, if you happen to live in a state without a regional qualifier, you're completely screwed. No, that's not necessarily the case. There is always last chance. You may not like last chance. In fact, there's a lot of criticism around last chance, but last chance still does exist. Now, at the same time, you are one of those people that's like, last chance, nope, I'm not slugging it out. Y'all can have the invite at that point. But at the same time, yes, you should be entered into the system and only allowed to participate in one regional qualifier. Same as if you went to, say, let's say you're visiting your grandparents in another state, and you have a chance to make both regional qualifiers, one in your home state and one in that state. Technically, or let's say that you can't make it to yours. Technically, okay, sure, we'll let you participate. However, we'll register your name in the system, so you can't double dip. I'm trying to prevent double dippers, dude. Like, that's what the system is trying to avoid, double dippers. Like, because it begs the question, were you really visiting your grandparents, or were you trying to double dip? I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt and quote-unquote answer the question for them. They're trying to visit their grandparents, for example, and not double dip. Now, if they're trying to do both, I'm like, unfortunately, sir, no. Sir or madam, no. You should be there trying to visit your grandparents rather than trying to double dip in Weiss Schwarz. Now, am I saying... And of course, people need to get it through their thick skulls that it's one of those things that if you don't qualify, then go to last chance. Last chance is a thing. They may not like that solution, but hell, you don't need to participate in continentals every single year. I didn't my first year. I didn't in 2018 either. So, like, hell. Now, of course, internationals. Because Canadians will hop the border to participate in, say, Hammer Girls. Now that begs the question, how do we handle the international people? Or let's say you're away in a foreign country doing business. Say you just happen to be in, say, Sendai. Of course, my proposition would be this. You get one try, period.
So a global registrar of names per year.
Correct. A global registrar. So that means Canadians don't get a second chance here in the U.S. Or let's say an American doesn't get a second chance in, say, Singapore or Hong Kong, for example. Or the People's Republic of China. Because there are a lot of Chinese residents. So if they're desperate enough, they might actually book the plane ticket and go to Hong Kong. Try to qualify in Hong Kong. But Hong Kong's tournament's a bit different. As we at Doggo Card Reviews have researched, actually, Hong Kong's tournament is actually a bit different. You skip directly to the continental level. Now, for those countries that skip directly to the continental level, that they should not be allowed to participate in them. Well, they have their own can of worms too. You need a residency card.
Mm-hmm.
You need official government identification to prove that you're a resident of the country before you're able to qualify at Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another can of worms. I think that alone is enough to prevent people from country hopping.
Mm-hmm.
Because to even participate in Rochester, you need a driver's license. You need proper identification from the United States and Canada. You need proper. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you can also check things like passports in case you're like a permanent resident.
Okay, but you need identification of some sort.
Yeah.
You need proper government identification of some sort
Mm-hmm.
to even participate in Hammer Girl. From our research in Hong Kong, you just need to prove it in order to advance. But everybody's goal at that tournament is to advance.
Yeah.
Hopefully advance.
Ideally.
Well, Soul Sleeper's goal is to test his valor at nationals, but unfortunately he has not done very well at nationals, much to my own chagrin. I thought he would be able to fucking sack some people, but unfortunately he's had terrible luck going to NATS. But as for country hopping, yeah, I don't condone country hopping either. You get one chance, period.
All right.
You get one chance, period, unless you happen to go through Continental. You know, you have since Hong Kong doesn't necessarily have for those that have direct, I don't mind if you country hop if the country starts with Continentals, but at the same time, good luck proving legal identification. Good luck. Mm-hmm. Most governments are not going to allow you to have government identification if you don't live there. Well, unless they're equally corrupt. But we have no
World Grand Prix Zimbabwe win.
Zimbabwe? Really, man? Zimbabwe? The Zimbabwe dollar is useless, and you know that.
Technically, they haven't really used this thing called Zimbabwean dollar since like 2009.
True. $100 trillion bill when? But anyway, let's move on to the next topic. I think I've complained enough about stay off my lawn.
Yeah, definitely. Alright. So weekend events are cool, but what about the weekdays? So the regional qualifiers of the North American World Grand Prix circuit are held only on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Of these, all but 4 in 2019 were held on the latter two. This could be problematic for players who would otherwise attend but instead have obligations on the weekends like work, religion, and family.
Okay. Speaking specifically from Las Vegas' perspective, there are a lot of jobs, especially in the casino industry, that will require you to work on the weekends. And that is a huge burden on Weiss Schwarz players because, hello, we work on the weekends. We can't participate. Does that mean we're screwed? I mean, what about holding, them on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday? Hammer Girl is open. I don't see really any excuse why. Now, you might argue, again, why does X region get to hold it on, say, a Tuesday, but why do we have to hold it on the weekend? Blah, 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 blah. Retail employees, you're pretty much required to work on weekends. Like, unless you're specifically a specialized occupation, like, say, a doctor, a programmer, an accountant, a lawyer, or some type of office employee, you're required to work on weekends. Like, for example, a Starbucks barista? Fat chance you'll be working on weekends, man. Almost guaranteed, especially if you have no seniority.
Yeah, food industry be like that.
Hell, even my current occupation, the being part of the United States Census Bureau. I'm quite lucky that I get to take the weekends off, but I had to make many sacrifices for it. But at the same time, I go, again, having to work. Like, let's say my WGP was held on Friday. I'd have to take a day off work. I'd have to tell them that I'm not available on that day, specifically to play in World Grand Prix. My work schedule, my boss is chomping down on those that aren't working X amount of hours per week. If I took that Friday off, okay, I'd be fine still. But what about those with other obligations? Religion is huge. If your WGP is held on Sunday, especially Sunday morning, what about those that go to church? Religion is huge, especially here in the U.S. And your family will be like, you're ditching church for a card game? For real?
Or if you yourself value your spirituality over, or go like if you are devout to your religion, are you willing to sacrifice a day of your spirituality to go attend a card game event?
To play a card game? For real? Or let's say Saturday is a huge family day. It's usually the day that most parents spend time with their kids. I get it. Not a lot of card game players are younger. They don't have things like family. That's why they can simp for these virtual YouTubers. But when they actually have a family, good luck with that. Shit, you must be throwing your paycheck to the fucking wolves. You might as well burn your paycheck at that point. You might as well burn it. But at the same time, those guys with families, you got a wife, a kids to take care of. Hell, Mike, the Arizona judge, has a wife. I've met her. She's a very strange girl, but he has a young wife to think about. Luckily, she's into playing said card games too. She's actually been to nationals before. But at the same time, I go, the hell, man. You've got, unless your honey bunches is into Weiss herself, good luck.
Yeah, that guy definitely sounds more like the exception than the rule.
I know. I mean, he managed to train his wife up to compete at nationals, so. But at the same time, man, for those of us that have work, hello? You're a casino employee. You're not getting the weekend off. Good luck.
I just got a quick little funny story about this actually. The year I qualified, 2017 I qualified, right after that, I had to go straight into work.
Ooh.
Because I was working as a traveling tutor at the time.
Well, you could have canceled that appointment.
I could have, but I looked at my schedule and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it, because I'm pretty sure by the time this ends, I should be able to make this appointment. What's my idea?
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. But at the same time, I go.
But for people who are on a more strict schedule, like working at a fast food place or something, you don't really have that luxury.
You're calling out. You're calling out that day, in all likelihood.
And even then, see if it even gets approved.
Well, I've seen people call out just to attend their World Grand Prix.
Well, some managers are clearly more flexible than others.
Yes, some of them are clearly more flexible. But again, for those of you that are independent contractors like Uber drivers, sure, they can easily take the day off. They can easily take their World Grand Prix off. Because they work on their own schedule. Some of us are not more fortunate. Heart of the Cards is open every single day except Monday. So why not hold some of these regionals on, say, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday?
I'm pretty sure just about every local game store, is open 5 to 6 days a week.
With my own Dark Side Games, we're open 7. They're literally open every single day.
Minimum 5 days a week.
Right, and the fact is that I don't know about, well, how many days is Legends open per week?
I think Legends should be 6 days a week. I think they're closed on either Monday or Tuesdays. I don't remember.
Or the local game show that you attend nowadays, man?
That one, I think, is also open 6 days a week.
Which day is it closed?
I think that one should be Monday.
Monday? Okay. But, you know, again, holding some of these events... Now, one of the big concerns about holding some of these events later, like throughout the midweek, is the fact that, hey, everybody has to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But again, you know, at the same time, very low population count. Imagine World Grand Prix being held on a Tuesday evening. You might have 2 people show up. Congratulations, you 2 advance.
Yeah, that is one of the drawbacks.
But at the same time, I'll go, you know, for a diverse working town, like, for example, you need to gauge it by population. This is mostly for the judges. You need to gauge it by your gaming population. Let's say, for example, basically everybody's in retail. You know, everybody works retail. They're going to get weekdays off. They're going to get some pair of weekdays off.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to hold on, say, a Wednesday evening, when most people are off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Heart of the Cards has shown flexibility in changing start times and dates.
Mm-hmm.
So this is possible.
Oh yeah.
Luke is definitely willing to flex.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so something like that, like prospective World Grand Prix regional qualifier tournament organizers could do is something like, hey, let's take a little survey. You know, what days are you available? What days would you be willing? What days of the week would you be willing to attend a World Grand Prix if it was held here? Simple question. Tally the results and see what works best for the majority, right?
Right. Of course, we cannot accommodate every single person.
Yeah, there will be sacrifices made.
In no matter what scenario you pick.
Right, but I think it's like a scenario of like doing like tailoring things towards your local population is most likely going to be the better solution that will accommodate the most amount of players.
Right, for the individual cases, less chances there for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Much to everybody's chagrin at this point.
Yeah.
I think majority of players hate last chance at this point.
I don't blame them one bit.
I don't think they want to head to the gym right before Nats. Head to the fucking gym. Like, oh god, ow, ow, ow. I mean, dude, you try training in that gym when you're sick.
Oh no. If I'm sick, I'll be like, yeah, I'll rip my invite then or whatever.
No. You know what I said? No, I'm charging in, boys.
I'm charging.
The clock's at fucking 0. Let's go. The clock's at 0. I qualified. I might as well fucking go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking get it, boys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, as someone like myself who has a flexible work schedule, I wouldn't mind it any day of the week, to be honest. But I understand that, hey, not everybody's an office professional. Not everybody's an office professional.
Definitely not.
So you have a lot of the, hi guys, I work in retail.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Or I go to church.
Ouch, even worse.
Or I got family to attend to.
Or I'm just dead. Hey, that's still sleeper's case, man. And usually in a lot of cases. Hey guys, I was dead. What?
Oh well.
But he has bigger issues.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's move on to the next issue, shall we?
Sure thing. So there was this thing called the Spring Summer Series for a select few players. In the year of 2018, Heart of the Cards held a series of tournaments they called their Spring and Summer Series to offer sanctioned events prior to the World Grand Prix that year. However, there were only six of these events, 4 in the United States and 2 in the British Columbia, specifically in Canada, meaning so few players got the opportunity to participate in this circuit overall, And FYI, the circuit did not continue into 2019 and beyond.
Oh boy, my love, my anger, and all of my sorrow.
Oh
Lord. This fucking idea. I swear. This is one of the biggest pieces of evidence that Luke prioritizes business over the World Grand Prix itself. Not only the fact that he fucking funnels everybody into Hammer Girl to buy merchandise. You know, as a lure to buy merchandise. Mm-hmm. I get it, Luke. You're a businessman. But at the same time, I go, come on, man. It's blatantly obvious. And the stores look. For those of you that are curious, look at the 6 stores that were offered this. They all have business ties to Luke. And look, they're all high invite count stores. The lowest is Dragon Girl TCG in Arizona. I believe that was the lowest population count, the lowest invite count.
And that's 4.
And that's 4. You have to remember, Dragon Girl barely gets 10 people, man.
On a good year, it gets 10 people.
There's a big reason why that store pretty much gets invaded every single year by Californians. Like, that is a very juicy target. Mm-hmm. But I go, wait a second. I'll go, there's a reason why this circuit did not continue to 2019 and beyond. Because it didn't produce results. Literally, barely anybody played in it because barely anybody. Number one, this circuit was not publicly. It was public information, but it was so buried.
Yeah, it like you had to kind of dig around to know what was happening, or you had to be in like a very, very specific inside group.
The only reason I knew about it is because I know the owner of Dragon Girl TCG. That is the only reason why I knew. I couldn't go to it, obviously. I couldn't go. And also, one of the biggest problems was this had to compete with English's Bushiroad Springfest. That was one of the... Now, bear in mind, while the Japanese game is still somewhat popular, the English game, a lot more people play the English game.
And the overlap in English and Japanese Weiss Schwarz has been growing and growing overall.
In fact, you'll see a lot of people, once a set gets announced for English, dump their Japanese product. Almost definitely. You will see people dump. Like, if you have trouble affording, if you're on a limited budget, and you play the Japanese game, wait till your set comes out in English. Especially if it's popular / powerful. It will almost definitely get an English release. And people will dump their cards relatively quickly. In fact, I'm waiting for people to dump their data live. So I can swoop it in for cheap. Because yes, I have money, but why would I spend the $500 some odd on buying data live when I can just get it for like half that price when people dump it? Pretty simple concept. But there's a reason why the circuit didn't continue on in 2019. Like, Bushiroad has something called BCF in Japan. Now, obviously, it's like Springfest. It's a for-fun circuit. Now, something that they could have done for the Japanese circuit is offer the grand prize of an invite to World Grand Prix. They could have offered you that incentive. It costs nothing for Bushiroad. All it does is secure you an invite. if it's secure now, and that would entice a lot of players. That would entice a lot of players to participate because guess what? They no longer have to deal with the fall circuit. All they have to worry about is, well, booking the flight to Rochester, New York in November. That's it. And attending in Rochester. Now, I really wish that this circuit could have continued. Let me be honest here. Let me ask you this question. Did you know about this
I did.
at the time?
I did.
And why didn't you participate?
There was none close enough to me I was willing, or there was no location that I was willing to travel to.
I see. So you weren't willing to travel to, say, Arizona.
No, I was like, well, I go to Arizona just for this.
Fair enough, fair enough. For me, the closest location would have been Arizona. For me, it was the lack of prize. Why would I participate in this tournament? I'm like, there's literally no reason for me to participate.
Like, what happened is you just get you get the usual, like, here's your deck list, here's your quick little interview, if there was even that, posted on the Heart of Cards website, and that was kind of it.
You got a certificate.
You got a certificate. A certificate, yes.
You got a glorified certificate. If that certificate was attached to, say, a World Grand Prix invite, welcome. Well, that's pretty much honey for the sweat. That's pretty much honey for the sweat.
Like, now we get it. This was definitely experimental.
But at the same time, we should, at least get one invite per one of these events. I'm sure Luke can give away 6 invites.
I'm pretty sure like the thing that's holding him back from doing that is just simply Busho says no.
I'm pretty sure you can get Bushiroad's expression for it.
Well, because again, I think the Japanese players get mad, like, why do they get to have a tournament before World Grand Prix that gives them a World Grand Prix invite?
They don't have to fucking know about it.
Oh, you'd be surprised how quickly news travels now.
Oh, goddamn, right, I forgot. Japanese players will find out relatively quick.
Yeah.
And we in the US don't like to keep our mouths fucking shut. Even if it's to our own goddamn benefit. Oh, and there'd be outcry here in the US too. There would be outcry. Why the hell are only 4 stores holding this?
Yeah. I mean, there definitely was outcry during this time. Like, what is the point?
I mean, can you imagine a certain guy who loves boats a little too much? Can you imagine a player like him traveling to each one of these events? Because he travels to every single English event, hoping for that invite.
Right, but definitely not something like this.
Can you imagine if the World Grand Prix invite was the Continental invite was
like, maybe that person would be willing to travel a little more, but maybe not to every location because that'd be ridiculous.
Jeez. Have you met the Weiss Schwarz community, man?
I have. Like, I can't establish for like a several hundred person big English regional event, but for a World Grand Prix or even a World Grand Prix regional qualifier or like this kind of thing, I don't know about traveling across half the country to do that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh no. I mean,
players that are to travel.
Sure. But I'm pretty sure like if they're there, they're doing something else in the meantime. But whereas for the English regional, they're like, yeah, I'm here for the English regional.
Well, even though the English regional literally gives you 0. Springfest gives you literal 0, man. Literal
but
0.
people let you play with their teams and stuff.
I guess so, but well, Bear that in mind. You're literally traveling for literal zero. You're not even getting an invite, Lamau.
They're not, but people like to have that bragging right. Yeah, me and my 2 books here, one in Texas.
In before they got carried.
Hey, it happens every now and then, right?
I mean, explain how Disgaea won as part of the trios. Explain how Disgaea won, sir.
It definitely had to win some games. There's no way. It's very impossible not impossible, but improbable that a team has a player who goes 0x and still get first place.
His 2 teammates were, I think, Shingeki and Bangdream.
I know what you're talking about, but still, can you expect, like, again, you're talking about like 2 players having to get XO with a player getting 0x. I think someone confirmed that the guy got at least like a solid 4 or 5 wins that day.
True, he did. But it's fucking Disgaea, man.
Hey. Some people simply don't know how to play against that shit.
What?
You'd be
What
surprised.
do you mean?
You'd be surprised.
Disgaea is trash, man. It's easy to beat Disgaea.
Some people really fall for that Wing Slayer, man.
What? What? You're paying 1 and hitting yourself until you up just to minus 3k to 4? You what?
Hey, you seen how some guys can be like a little back row reliant?
In English?
In English, I can tell you.
What things that reliant on their back row? Like, I can't think of any.
We'll worry about it some other time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're getting off topic here, so.
Alright. Restricted titles and expansions. Due to licensing issues, HOTC has been forced to make a list of titles and expansions that cannot legally be played at both the North American World Grand Prix Regional Qualifiers and the Continental Qualifier. This is definitely frustrating the players who would love to compete with the cards of these projects otherwise.
What do you mean I can't play Godzilla?
Or Schoolgirl Strikers.
Well, Girlfriend Vega, man.
Girlfriend Vega.
Lamau, or until recently, Magia Record. F to Monaco players because we're doing this instead of Moto Cup. F. Literally, the original schedule was we were supposed to do Moto Cup until we looked at Magia Record Anime's card. Cool. Yeah, I think my co-host would get very pissed off at me if I just read G Gundam quotes the entire time. So out of respect for him, I was just like, fuck it, we're switching to this instead.
Yeah, we're switching to this content.
Because like, why? I don't think the audience wants you to read a G Gundam script.
No.
Because it'd just be like, okay, I'm gonna quote Stalker now. Oh, here's a Domo line. Oh, here's one from Master Asia.
Oh lord.
What?
Here's one from Ring.
Oh, here's one from Allenby. or Prime Minister Wong now.
Prime Minister fucking Wong. But anyway, yeah, it's definitely a little frustrating. Like, what's really funny is at least one of these titles, Girlfriend Vega, was actually allowed for 1 year in the North American World Grand Prix until they were told by Blizzard, hey, y'all can't play that no more.
You what?
Wait. Good shit! I invested so much into this.
My pumpkin.
Yeah, my pumpkin. my police officer MC.
And I just go, wait a second. Now, of course, wait, what do you mean I can't play Star Memes in World Grand Prix? I cannot play Star Memes?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You're saying even funnier part, like, I'll joke with this with Gavin every now and then. Like, you could theoretically, I'm gonna add onto like this a little bit. It's not really an issue, it's just more of like a weird thing. So, English exclusives in the English game of Weiss Schwarz are actually legal at these events. So Batman Ninja, the English version of Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Arc, and the upcoming Adventure Time and Mob Psycho 100, if World Grand Prix continues in North America, will be legal for play here, but not legal for play in Worlds. So what can happen is someone can theoretically qualify at the continental level using an English exclusive, go to Japan and play like Star Wars.
Well, now. But at the same time, I go.
Like F the system. I'm gonna prove y'all got F wrong.
But at the same time, card captors. Why not just play the JP version, which is just better?
Isn't that actually restricted from play here? I forget.
No. You can play card captors here. The JP
shit.
version.
Oh shit, that's actually hilarious.
So literally, you can see both versions of card captors running around.
That's hilarious.
The likelihood of you running into card captor, Lamau, no. No. I'm sorry, but card captors is not good enough for the gym.
Well, there's a player out there who likes. There's at least 5 players who like it enough to compete with it.
I mean, can you imagine Batman Ninja topping Nats? Oh.
I mean, if it wasn't for a double loss, that guy could have actually qualified to go to Nats.
Wait, that Mr. Batman Ninja
was undefeated until a double loss.
Oh my god!
And that's what ended the tournament early.
Oh my god!
Got a double loss against Milky Holmes.
Oh, wait. Milky Holmes doesn't do anything at level 3. Doesn't do anything.
It heals a ton. That's why.
Cordelia's guarded.
Heals a ton.
And what does Batman Ninja do against it?
It has a restandard combo.
I mean, what does JC do against fucking Milky again? Nothing? Well, hey, it increases his exile count.
Yeah, try to actually beat Milky Holmes' compression combo.
Doesn't Batman Ninja have a stock swap?
It does have stock swap.
Oh, so how the hell?
Yeah, like it could actually do something. It's just that if the players are like very, very good at the game and they're canceling a tongue, it's like, there's 2 minutes left. We're at 3-1 and 3-0, and we're still canceling shit.
At that point, like, you're both gonna lose.
Yeah, that's how it is sometimes.
Like, unless you guys have a gentleman's agreement, one concedes.
Right, but I think they're both gonna want to have the integrity to play it out.
Well, both of you don't qualify then. Lamau.
That's kind of what happened.
Oh, but at the same time, I go, wait.
Because for those who don't know, a double loss penalty is actually one of the worst things you can incur.
It is actually worse than conceding.
Yeah, it's actually worse than conceding.
In fact, if you're both, like, let's say for example, at the time of 2018, if I knew about that, I actually asked my local judge. He's like, "Yeah, double loss is actually the worst. Is actually worse than a game loss. It's actually worse because it is literally the worst penalty you can get besides being disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of rough, honestly. Like, a double loss is so bad. The tactical concede is back. There is actually such thing as tactical concession in Weiss.
Mm-hmm.
In that situation, because we've seen it in other card games where tactical concedes do exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like where
particularly in best of 3 formats, because you're like, okay, you know what? I could try to attempt to break an opponent's board here, but I feel I'm not going to be able to do it that well, so I'd rather just hide what I'm playing and go to game 2 with my opponent attempting to side, not knowing what I'm actually playing.
Right. You'll just give your opponent game 1 immediately.
As for a best of 1 format, some people do this in a game like Vanguard where they're like, you know what? If I'm already guaranteed to make it into like the next day or something, or I'm already guaranteed for like the national or something, I'm like, okay, I'll concede here. I don't need people to know what my deck is.
Wow. That, or literally, I can see people tactically conceding because I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry, literally. That's like one of the biggest reasons why I would tactically concede. Be like, okay, it's like 6:30 p.m. in Rochester. It's where I'm guaranteed to make it to the Super 16 here.
Oh yeah, then definitely. Okay, yeah, I'll concede here. I'm hungry.
You know what, dude? You know what, dude? Merry Christmas. You'll be joining me in the Super 16. Judge, I concede immediately.
Yeah, and you're second against it.
And literally, I'll be heading off to the tie place.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right, anyway, before we go too off topic.
But anyways, so wait. Before this, so why the fuck are these English sets legal in my Japanese circuit, Lamau?
I'm pretty sure it's like I'm pretty sure a lot of it is Busho is going like, we need to promote these English exclusive players in your region.
Yes, you should be promoting them at BCS and BCS and the Springfest, not at fucking World Grand Prix.
It might also just be Luke, trying to get more business for Hammer Girl, honestly.
By allowing English exclusives, dude, there's barely any people playing these English exclusive titles. Most of them suck.
Well,
I mean,
people are buying them anyway. You can't deny this.
Yes, people are buying them, but at the same time, like, the likelihood of you seeing English CCS at the national level is slim to none.
Yeah, but the possibility is there. Is what I'm saying. Like, the fact that we can have these restricted titles, but to make up for it, we're gonna allow these English exclusive titles as like a compensation or something. It's probably part of the thing here too.
I guess so, but at the same time, I go, well, you can play them. Are you going to? Most likely not. I mean, can you imagine Batman Ninja showing up at Nats?
I wouldn't be surprised actually.
What?
Because people.
Come on, man. You gotta admit that Batman Ninja is not qualified.
You'd be surprised with some people, right?
Oh, okay. Jordan might show up with Batman Ninja at Nats next year. Kappa.
Yeah.
Because he's tired of playing Railgun.
Yeah, it could happen.
I mean, I'm surprised Jordan didn't make it to Super 16 for the third time in a row.
Hey, sometimes you get off days, right?
Well, Jordan got sacked times 2.
Mm-hmm. That's hey, that's part of Weiss Schwarz, right?
I mean, not even our former champion is immune to getting sacked.
Exactly, like it just happens, right?
Yep. I mean, literally. Well, let's move on, shall we?
Yep. So, restriction was taking effect during the circuit. In more recent years, Hardcore has been starting the North American World Grand Prix as early as August, prior to the biannual restriction list changes taking effect in September 1st of each year. This results in an unfair advantage earned by players participating in regional qualifiers before and after the changes take place, especially given that most regional qualifiers are held after the changes take effect.
Yo, dog, can we hold our WGP 2 weeks before the battle list takes place? Lamau. Come on, man, that is not fair. You gotta admit that. That is not fucking fair.
It is definitely bonkers.
Like, what the fuck?
And we've seen some drastic changes happen in this September 1st list in the past.
Our darling.
Yeah.
She's been hit. She's been hit.
Very heavily.
But, well, she's recovered quite nicely, but at the same time...
But it took some time.
She's bleak, and I don't think either one of them... Actually, no. You've been playing our darling for a long time now.
I have.
Longer than I have.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! I just recently picked her back up, and she's been a good girl. She's been a good girl, but at the same time, I go, oh Jesus Christ! Like, to be fair, the August ban list, it should take place on August 1st. It should be effective as of August 1st.
We will not have this problem, right?
Like, all WGPs should be subject to the ban list. Yes, it officially takes effect September 1st, but for WGP purposes, it takes place on August 1st.
Or, simpler solution, don't hold any World Grand Prix qualifiers before September 1st.
You know people love their early bird.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, come on.
It has almost no reason to exist.
No, people called me crazy when I was planning for WGP in July. And now with early birds, they don't call me crazy no more.
Right, but again, like, I don't know about you, Gavin, but I really think the early bird thing is part of the reason why we're even talking about this specific subject.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you on this one, Mike. I like the early bird system, actually.
Oh.
It gets it out of the way.
It does, but then we end up with this problem.
True.
And Japan's not just going to simply bend over and be like, yeah, we'll make it August 1st instead of September 1st.
Hey man, Japan. You do realize that Japan has a ton of early. Right? We're just copying Japan's system, and this problem occurs even in Japan.
I thought before this year they were always doing it September onwards.
Nope. There was quite a few WGPs that happened in August.
What?
I can't remember which prefectures necessarily off the top of my head, but I remember quite a few of them. August? Really?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Like, okay, I can understand if it has to be an emergency restriction. I get it. Yes, something came out, it became Tier 0. It's taking up over 50% of invites. Okay, that's not okay. But...
cough, data live cough.
But getting base must be saying there will be no restriction list.
Base Matsui said there will be restrictions after World Grand Prix.
Exactly.
So have fun getting rampaged by Data Live.
W.
Hey man, we don't have to worry about it here in the States because what's a World Grand Prix?
Thinking.
Oh my god.
Roll safe.
I mean, hell, have you read the complaints from? Have you read the complaints by a certain community? Jesus Christ, they're complaining about Data Live literally daily.
Oh, I've witnessed it.
They're like, my little Cheeto is OP. I'm like, y'all didn't play Highlight and Psychono. Why are you playing it now? But anyways, restriction list. I'm like, I get the point of the restriction list, period. But at the same time, I go, hello, Bushiroad should just literally just change the effective date for WGP versus to August 1st. As soon as they make it, you have a week to adjust. Boom.
Like, it just doesn't make sense for, 15% of regionals to be held in one regulation and the other 85% to be held in the latter regulation.
That's why 100% should be under the latter regulation. Cause, oh hell no, that was banned. Imagine you go to WGP. Let's say Data Live does get a restriction, and you see. Wait a second. You see banned combinations, and you're just going like, "What the fuck? This shit's banned." There's a choiceless motherfucker. There's a choiceless motherfucker. Yeah.
Like just imagine, someone's playing, a pre-restriction list, in early August. And then people are going, hey, we're going to try to play for, the upcoming, regional here in my area in October. Copies that list, playtesting up the wazoo. September or late August hits, the actual system is revealed, and they go, "What the fuck?"
Unfair. OP.
They got you playing this shit before it got hit and qualified with it.
That's why it should be fucking August 1st. There, you can't escape via early birth now. You can't escape. The restriction list is live.
Yeah, it's strange sometimes.
But
Alright.
again, that's more of a heart of the cards issue.
Yeah,
more
definitely.
than a World Grand Prix issue. Because Japan, actually I don't think most Japanese players even care. Because Kappa, majority of them are just play herder, H standby, they're never going to ban 1-1s and 2-2s, herder.
You're right.
I mean, there's a reason why 1-1s and 2-2s are still so cheap despite them being played out the wazoo.
Oh, they can be printed in very low rarities.
Common and uncommon?
Yeah. Or trial deck in, like, the case of Cocytus.
And that one guy from Fate Grand Order, I forget his fucking name. He sits on his throne all fucking day.
6 on his throne all fucking day. Gilgamesh?
Yeah, Gilgamesh. Yeah, that's it. Hey man, I don't know about fucking Fate, okay?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
He sits on his throne all goddamn day.
I thought you would actually know your fate, but I guess I was wrong.
Oh no, that's Justin.
It's permeating like so many things now. Like, I remember back in the day, Fate was like a big obscure. Like a lot of people did know because of like, you know, I am the bowl of my sword meme and so on, or people die if they're killed. But after Fate Grand Order, holy fucking shit, Fate everywhere.
Nope. Remember, I am cute girls doing cute things and idols.
There are cute girls doing cute things in Fate, and there are idols in Fate.
There are?
A few of them.
Few of them? Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, of course, not the majority of characters, but they're there. Like, Fate Grand Order has probably gone to the point of, if you could name, like, the trope, it's probably in there.
Gay bulge.
Gay bulge.
Hey man, I know the memes, okay?
You know the memes. Well, before we have Gavin attempt to actually state the Unlimited Blade Works chant here. Hammer Girl Anime, Rochester, Holiday Weekend. So ever since Hardcross has organized the first North American World Grand Prix in 2013, the Continental Qualifier is held every year at the distributor's headquarters of Hammer Girl Anime in Rochester, New York. The event does not try to hide an intention of enticing invitees who show up to make purchases at Hammer Girl Anime while there to compete. Furthermore, the event is typically held around Veterans Day or Thanksgiving Day weekend. While this is a weekend during which more players would be free, it does also cause issues with many players who typically fly to get to the event location with higher airfare pricing for these dates.
Yeah. Have fun flying to Rochester.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, literally. It's the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Tiny fucking town in the middle of New York, upstate New York. Literally, there's only one notable business in Rochester, New York, and that's Eastman Kodak. And if you're familiar with contact centers, Sutherland. But I doubt majority of people. Hell, I'm actually reading people talking about World Grand Prix literally as we speak right now on Discord.
Oh boy.
And they're like, wait a second, what's happening? What's going on with fucking World Grand Prix this year? It ain't happening. Pepe Gaw. I mean, literally people are just casting Pepe Gaw. I just go, oh, okay. I mean, last year I paid almost $900 for 2 economy tickets to Rochester.
Economy.
Yes, basic economy on United Airlines. That is how expensive it is. to travel to Rochester.
Like, and you know, and let's face it, a lot of you watching probably don't like to fly economy.
I mean, I had no choice. Well, bear in mind, the majority of people listening to this cast probably don't literally sponsor a person.
Mm-hmm.
All expenses paid.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, flying economy is not something that a lot of people want to do because of like how limiting it is.
Oh, you basically have zero. Zero luxury. But
like you, I think with economy on most major airlines that operate in North America, you're lucky if you can even bring like a carry-on.
No, you can bring a carry-on. It includes a carry-on.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm thinking about like the hyper extreme of like
you're thinking basic economy.
Spirit Airlines or something.
You're thinking basic economy, man. But like in 2017, what did you fly? What class did you fly?
I think I flew like a more. I think it was it was definitely not basic economy. It was either economy or like economy plus ish. I don't remember the exact name.
Okay. Well, which carrier did you fly with?
I believe I flew with American.
American. Okay. So yeah, they have their upgraded economy.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it upgraded economy because, well, all three major carriers in the U.S. have different names for upgraded economy, so I'm just going to go with upgrade.
Yeah.
But I've been flying United Airlines since 2018, so I flew Delta in 2017. Yeah, not. Note to self: don't let Victor plan your air route for you. It's going to be a hell of a lot more expensive. Oh, and he will abandon your ass, in all likelihood. Like he fucking did to me. But then again, it was because of him that we met. And then we're even on this cast to begin with.
No, thank you, Victor.
Yeah, thank you, Victor. But, I'll go, wait a second. Yeah. And guess what? I planned it on September 30th. I literally booked the flights and the hotel on September 30th. Bear in mind, here's a funny story. I'm going to share this with the audience. So, Soul Sleeper happens to take his second invite. I was just like, hot damn, this guy's unstoppable. This guy's unfucking stoppable. I thought, maybe he won't qualify this year. I had doubts. You know, I thought people would catch on to his antics. Apparently not. He advances again. So we went out to the steakhouse, and we were thinking here. He is all like, so what do you want to do? I'm like, well, I highly doubt Louis would want to go with me. I highly doubt it. So I guess it has to be me again. It has to be. Because for the sake of keeping our invite, I guess I'll do it. He's like, well, you didn't qualify. I know. Let me worry about that. I have to go through last chance. I have to go through it again. He's like, remember what happened last time, dude? You got trashed in last chance qualifier. No? I got unlucky once. And I happened to... He's all like, don't worry about it. And I told him, don't worry about it. He's like, okay. So, look for the cheapest price. Because, you know, and we stayed at the same Holiday Inn. I literally told him, I literally took out my wallet, put my credit card in his computer, left for the bathroom, and I said the following thing before I left. You know what to do. And by the time I got out of the bathroom, the trip was planned. I asked him, how much did it cost me? He's all like, you're looking at $1,700. I'm like, oh, that's not too bad, honestly. That's not... $1,700? Ooh, boy, that's costly. So I literally just spent $1,700. Literally sponsored somebody.
So you divide that by 2 to just get a cost of a single person. We're going to like $850.
Yeah, $850 a head. That's expensive.
That's not counting like all the auxiliary expenses.
Ubers.
Like, yeah, Uber, food.
Ubers, food. That's just counting airfare and hotel.
Things you might actually end up buying while you're in the area for some reason.
I didn't buy anything last year, but
like, you know, when I went, I was like, you know what? Whoever, like my local friends, whoever needs me to, I'll take pictures of stuff. What do y'all want me to buy for y'all?
dang. But then I go, huh. And the fact that it's held around a holiday weekend further inflates the price.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Luke has chosen Veterans Day weekend for the majority of years that it's being held.
Mm-hmm.
And Veterans Day weekend is most people don't give Veterans Day weekend enough credit. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly expensive. Because guess what? The military loves to travel too.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's if you're working in a typical like office job or something, you most likely have that Monday off.
Some offices won't give it to you. But if you're a retail employee or say a casino employee, no.
You're working on Monday because people are coming over.
That's a blackout day. That's considered a blackout day. Mm-hmm. Which means you're unable to attend that day anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to scoop 3 additional days off of my previous job. Mm-hmm. I worked as an insurance agent, luckily, so I was able to convince my boss, okay, I need 3 days off. In fact, hell, I was tempted to take that entire week off. Because I fell ill during that weekend.
Right.
Now, of course, I was hoping that Luke would see sense and stop scheduling this event around Veterans Day weekend.
But there's another problem with that weekend. I don't know if people have noticed, but if y'all are too used to like this thing, you're not used to this thing called snow or like below freezing temperatures, period. You're gonna feel a little uncomfortable.
How about being frozen?
Yeah, like when I went, it was definitely like around freezing throughout that weekend.
Both years I went. Welcome to the snow. The snow is real.
Mm-hmm.
The snow is real. I think my co-host can attest for the snow is real.
Yeah. If people go on my Instagram, which you know, I'll link in a video description here. I'll link that direct post. I will show you that. Yeah, there was some fucking snow.
Especially since in the outfit that you were wearing at the time, man.
Yeah.
How are you not frozen solid?
I was not frozen solid. I don't even know how I did that.
I mean, I was in a suit at the time, and I was like,
shivering.
Yeah. I was in a suit at the time.
Yeah.
And of course, people can spot me via my trademark suit.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, just spot the guy in a suit. You'll spot me immediately.
Him or Soul Sleeper, right?
Oh yeah, Soul Sleeper too. Just literally spot either a guy in a fedora or a guy. Just literally look for guys in suits. You'll spot the 2 of us.
There you go. So you know, everyone can meet one of the guys here behind Doggo Car Reviews at your upcoming event. There's the description.
Yep, but look for guys in a suit. Well, in order to spot this guy,
it depends. Am I actually cosplaying as a Moe Blob or am I not?
More than likely, he will be cosplaying as a Moe Blob. Hey man, spot your Yosaros?
We'll see.
But cosplay does get expensive out from time to time. And of course, Thanksgiving Day weekend. Are you high?
Like, have you forgotten that people actually need to spend time with their families? I guess not.
Carving turkeys,
and enjoying some pumpkin pie.
Black Friday shopping, anybody? Oh, come on, you know Black Friday exists for a reason.
It does, but at least now it's more online than in person.
I still do the in-person shit, okay?
Alright, I'll be honest, these past few years I have not thought of anything. I'm like, I'm gonna go in person and go buy this.
Then again, you probably heard the horror stories of people getting mauled.
Oh, trust me, I've lined up for Black Fridays in the past. It's not fun.
Most people are chill.
Most of them are, but you know, like luckily I don't live in an area where people are gonna fight for TVs or something. But you know,
LA County,
LA County. Oh Lord.
especially the Hollywood area.
Oh, the Hollywood area has its own problems.
Hollywood has its own area. About, but well, okay. So the hotel. Here's some tips. Here's some tips from somebody who's been in that for multiple years. Number one, book a hotel that has a shuttle. Dear God, please book a hotel that has a shuttle, because you don't want to be paying $200 additional in Uber. I have paid that 2 years in a row. Not fun.
Otherwise, you're looking at a minimum of like a 15-minute walk.
15, try 30.
Okay, I got lucky then.
Poor visibility, middle of the night, snow.
Oh, okay.
And Victor is inferior to Google Maps in every single way when it comes to directions.
Ah, he's directionally challenged?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He is directionally challenged. I'm like, Victor, now where the hell are we? And I'm freezing, man.
Whoops.
Yeah, never go. Yeah, note to self. Going with Victor. No.
Expensive and getting lost.
Luckily, he doesn't play this game very much anymore.
But again, as we said earlier, it's because of him that we are actually here. So we can't discredit him entirely.
True. But at the same time, okay. Also, book your tickets if you plan on going. Book your tickets as soon as you win.
Unless you're actually confident that something will get cheaper somehow.
Most likely not.
Most likely not. You're not going to New York proper. You're not going to New York City. You're going to Rochester.
NYC, you can find deals. Rochester.
Yeah. Now I will say this: there have been some talks about trying to get a second location for people that are more on the western side of North America. So we're talking British Columbia, California, etc.
That would be held. The proposed location is here, Dark Side Games here in Las Vegas, Nevada. But at the same time, apart from the original conversation, I haven't heard a damn thing.
The problem was, Heart of Cards says, okay, we're looking into it, but this happened in between after the 2019 World Grand Prix ended and where we are right now. We'll go more about that towards the end of this little video. But anyway, before we get there, we're going to go ahead and move on.
Wait a second. I still have more to talk about on this.
Oh boy.
More tips. Hey, more tips and tricks, guys. Subscribe for tips and tricks on how to deal with this shit. Make sure you eat a full breakfast. You abuse that breakfast buffet, boys. Because you're going to need a full stomach.
Because the good thing about almost every hotel in this area, but it's more accurate to call them inns than hotels actually, is that they have complimentary continental breakfast.
Yep. Cause you're gonna be dueling all day. Well, unless you get O2'd.
Which can happen.
Smooth brain. But at the same time, I'll go. Also, if you're gonna sponsor somebody, please make sure you have the viable funds for that. Boy.
Yeah, people in California here have semi-joked about making a sponsorship fund for invitees.
Well, I mean, y'all better step up to the plate. Literally, sponsored. And people have asked me in the past, hey man, where's my sponsorship? When you stop being a dick and you start winning. like, fuck you, man. Why does he get sponsored? Because he won. Where's my sponsorship? You haven't won in eons. Excuse me? It was, in fact, Andrew is all like, excuse me, it's because of my mistake you got a taste of nationals. You even got your taste. And ever since then, you sunk your teeth into it. You've been addicted to it. Gee, nationals is quite fun. He's like, what about here at locals? I feel like I'm playing against raging zombies. Raging zombies? Really? Zombies? Yeah. I mean, you can see how much fun. I mean, like, I literally told him, like, a couple months ago, man, you can see how much fun I have on camera. Like, watch the scrims. You can see how much fun I'm having on camera. Let's fucking get it, boys. But either way, I go, make sure you pack warm clothing.
Mm-hmm. Bundle up. Especially if you do not have prior exposure to snowy climates.
Welcome to the snow, boys. The snow is always real.
Like, you're from California like me, like you're not near the Sierra Nevada, and you don't live in the mountains for some reason. You're simply not used to that type of weather.
Oh, you're from Hawaii.
Yeah, you're from Hawaii or Arizona, like, oh, the Bible Belt, period.
Florida. What is the snow you speak of?
Yeah, what's the snow you speak of? Like, people in Illinois definitely know. So they're like, yeah, this is nothing. We this about experience on a year-to-year basis.
Oh, by the way, always plan for your airline trips a day out in case you get snowed in. I got snowed in last year. And had to make emergency plans to stay at an additional night at the hotel. Hello, my ass got snowed in. We got snowed in. In fact, O'Hare Airport got snowed in. I was like, oh dear God, we can't escape? Nope, we're stuck in Rochester.
That's how it is sometimes.
Luckily, the hotel staff were nice enough to give us our room back, and it just kind of rained.
Oh, that's very good.
But anyway, for fuck's sake, Hammer Girl, let us have our West Coast location.
We like going all for doing this to begin with, but can it not be during this time of year where all this snow can happen?
I mean, why can't we have two national qualifiers? One in July, one in November.
Yeah, why not have two invitees? Like, can we not negotiate the second one?
I mean, Japan already gets fucking 8 of them. But then that would open the can of worms saying, hey, where's our invite? Hey, where's our second invite? Hey, where's our second invite?
Yeah, well, let's see what we could come up with, right?
Hey, technically China gets 2 of them.
Technically.
China gets 2 of them. China does get 2 of them. Much too much. I mean, like, that's what. In fact, I didn't include it in this one, but let me go on a small. Excuse me, sir. China geographically gets 2 invites. No other country besides Japan gets 2 invites. By geographic and as of 2020, but politically, they also get 2 invites. What the Sam hell? My co-host would argue, but Hong Kong is not part of the PRC.
I will never say that.
So you'll agree with me when I say the PRC gets 2 invites.
It's just more of, okay, what you consider, like, okay, everyone knows Hong Kong is not a country but really behaves like its own country.
It geographically is part of the People's Republic of China.
Well, you mean geopolitically speaking, yes.
Geographically, we're talking about in terms of geography here. Hong Kong is smack dab right next to the People's Republic of China. politically speaking, they just passed a law that says if you speak badly about the PRC in Hong Kong, they have the right to arrest you. So...
Right, well, before we dig too deep into the Hong Kong PRC schism issue...
I'm like, excuse me, but in terms of our card game, the way that I look at it, the People's Republic of China gets 2 invites. What in the Sam hell?
Well, just to clarify here, people, if you are watching any streams or footage of the World Grand Prix World Finals, the Hong Kong representative does get a separate flag to represent them.
Even though they are part of the PRC.
Right, but Japan would Busho Japan is fine treating Hong Kong as a separate entity.
Even though...
I mean, a lot of competitions do that already, though, right?
Yes, the Olympics as well.
Yeah, the Olympics do it, and yeah.
I mean, hell, they recognize Taiwan.
Busho will call it Taiwan because it has no real repercussions of doing so. But Olympics will call Taiwan Chinese Taipei.
Chinese Taipei? Oh boy.
Wait, you don't know this?
No, I noticed it. I was like, oh, wow, really?
Yeah, you knew it was coming to this.
Yeah, we knew it was coming to this.
Anyway, geopolitics aside.
Geopolitics aside, that's... Neither my co-host or myself are planning on competing in China as of this moment. So
not that we would be able to get in through there anyway because of
True.
residency rules.
Yep. Like I said earlier, even if you manage to climb the borders to other countries, have fun getting past the residency requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun. But anyways, let's move on, shall we?
Sure thing. There is no security at the Continental Qualifier. With an event as prestigious as the North American World Grand Prix Continental Qualifier, invitees would expect for there to be a serious approach to security to guarantee the safety of participants and their belongings. However, no such security is to be found, so all participating players are to remain vigilant.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh fucking boy. Guess what? If your shit gets stolen at World Grand Prix, you're SOL, man. Sorry, but you're just SOL.
Yeah, no staff at Hamburger Anime is gonna claim responsibility, nor have any obligation to help you.
Nope. If your shit gets stolen, you're SOL. You're basically relying on Scout's honor. Which... let's say you're not particularly liked by the community. They'll deny all obligations, and you're SOL.
Mm-hmm. Now, luckily, most of the community is pretty friendly.
Most of them. Not all of them.
I said most for a reason.
Okay, I was about to say.
I never said the entire or all.
I was about to correct you on that one. If you said all, I'm like, excuse me? Now, of course, no such security can be found. Hamburger Anime does have surveillance cameras. However, they're much more vigilant for theft of store property rather than your personal belongings. Luke has a business to run, and obviously he has to be very protective of the store itself. Now, as we're speaking right now, I'm literally holding a hand. And I brought said Max Rarity deck to Rochester. I would advise people to not do so. Bring minimum rarity decks. And don't bring a large amount of decks either. Bring a few. Of course, bring your tournament deck and bring a few decks if you want to participate in free fight.
Or you just want to get some games in outside of the event for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, maybe before, the day before or after the event.
Well, actually, I have played several games at the airport. I've played several games at the airport. But at the same time, please be vigilant. Because your things could be stolen at any time. Pretty much only bring things that you're willing to replace immediately.
I will also add to that, don't bring more that you can keep track of.
Right.
Bring the bare essentials.
Right. That includes that extends beyond card game products, by the way.
So if you are someone that needs like deodorant, during the day, bring that.
Like for example, if you're wearing a suit, make sure you're able to keep track of all pieces. Your blazer, your shirt, your tie, your pants, your belt, your socks, and particularly your shoes sometimes, actually.
Things like, a lot of people are probably bringing portable battery chargers for your phones.
Oh yeah, definitely. Your phone will not last the weekend.
If you're a content creator, your batteries and your camera and your tripod and stuff.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, Lamau, Doggo Card Reviews vlog at Nationals when?
Well, I do have the equipment ready.
Are we actually gonna do a live vlog at fucking Nats?
I could technically try to make it live. It might look a little weird, but I think there is a way.
Really? We could actually. Actually, I remember Randall making a deck tech at Hammer Girl.
Yeah, he did. I saw it happen.
Really? You were there?
2017.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember like a huge bulk of people surrounding Randall at the time.
Yeah.
I, of course, was not invited to that because people didn't know who the hell I was.
I don't think you have to be invited to hang around there. But anyway, the idea was, if you're a content creator, keep track of what you're bringing for content creation.
Yes. And also make sure you secure, your documents. Your wallet specifically. Hey, look, my driver's license. Oh, fair warning to all of those, to all of those traveling to World Grand Prix. Domestically, starting October 2021, the Transport Security Administration, aka TSA, the guys at the airport, will require you to have a gold star, aka a real driver's license, in order to travel domestically, or a passport. So, I will ask you, my friend, do you have either one of those things?
Yes, I do.
I will have both, actually. At the top, I will actually have both the passport and a driver's license with a gold star on it.
Cool.
Now, of course, make sure you have those things on you. Don't lose them. Because now I don't know why TSA requires you to have the real driver's license, but again, you can bypass that with a passport.
I believe it's for security reasons, right?
I believe so, but I think it's to prove that you're a U.S. citizen or something like that. But I'm not 100% sure, but they do require it now. They will require it as of next year. Of course, due to current events, that restriction was supposed to be taking place this year. But unfortunately, that's not happening.
Yeah, they have chosen to delay it for a good reason.
Right. Because air travel is pretty much non-existent at this point.
You're traveling, you better be doing it for essential reasons.
Right. Not traveling
because your job said so.
Or because a relative in another country died. You're going to a funeral or something like that.
Even then, I think people have actually been avoiding to go to a funeral if it has to be outside of state.
Really? I mean, that's one of the few things that you can get an expedited passport for. That's actually one of the few things that you can legitimately get an expedited passport for.
Oh yeah, definitely. But with the situation, people have been avoiding very important events like weddings and funerals.
Right. Well, regardless, just watch yourself. Watch your decks. Watch your belongings. Make sure nothing gets stolen. And if you happen to purchase something in Hammer Girl, make sure you keep after it, or have one of your buddies watch after it. In fact, I bought
having a buddy system is great.
I bought an Amelia Nesso 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Soul Sleeper literally hold Emilia in his hands. He's all like, what is this mutant? Why does it look like Emilia? Because it's Emilia, dude. He's like, do you like Emilia? Yes, I do like Emilia. He's like, I see. Well, by the way, he fell asleep during ReZero, so he's not joined Best Girl Wars yet.
Oh, I see.
Best Girl is still Emilia. But anyway, so, also, when you're eating, watch after your shit. The restaurant's not going to look after you.
But that should be a given.
Ubers. Do not bring your belongings onto Ubers if you can. In fact, I'd recommend avoiding Ubers if you can, because Uber is about to get more expensive, especially in California. In fact, I wouldn't put it past them to pretty much be almost expensive as a traditional taxi service, if not more. At that point, why not just hail a cab at that point? But anyways, I am getting way off topic. I think we'll go on to the next one.
Sure thing. The tournament format. While the regional qualifiers are conducted with a modified Swiss format, the continental qualifier uses a double elimination format with a top cut of 16 players, as we have alluded to earlier. Of these 16 players, 8 of them are determined by their standings, and the remaining 8 are selected based on whether or not they played a deck representing a title not already found amongst the previous 8 players regardless of standings. However, this does not take into account of the specific deck composition within a particular title.
So, most players already despise diversity clause. That bottom paragraph is referring to diversity clause.
Mm-hmm.
Most players absolutely despise it because they're like, why should I be knocked out just because I have to be playing the same deck, the same set as somebody else? Now, of course, here's how. Now, I don't mind diversity clause. I think it promotes more originality.
Mm-hmm.
And it cuts players from just playing the same sets over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's to promote healthy tournament play.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I don't like is the fact that there's absolutely no distinguishment between sets. Like, for example, if both players are playing, say... Actually, my favorite example is Chain Chronicle. Most players, if they're playing Chain Chronicle, will probably be playing the yellow deck.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Sleeper, on the other hand, is playing Chain Green, the army deck. There's literally no distinguishment between the two in Luke's odds.
Mm-hmm.
Luke will promote the best person with tiebreakers.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to ask me, I would give it to Soul Sleeper every single time. If I were Luke. Because of the fact that his deck is original. Like, Luke has seen thousands of lists.
Mm-hmm.
And has probably picked up on the pattern.
And he probably also keeps track of what does well in Japan and other parts of the world.
Right. And when he sees, oh great, it's this deck again. Oh great, it's this deck again. Of course Luke has to remain impartial. But at the same time, the human factor goes, Jesus Christ, everyone keeps playing the same exact list. With like a 3-card modification. For tech choices. Like, imagine if you were Luke, seeing Shaoran repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Shaoran repeatedly. I'm just like, oh dear God. And then he has to pick between, say, a Shaoran list advancing, or say, Azalea advancing. And if I were Luke, I would just say Azalea advances. Provided all of the factors are equal, Azalea will advance over the Shaoran player. Again, sacrifices have to be made, but at the same time, that spells a message to players. Be more original.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just spam meta all the time. spamming meta will get you punished. Will punish you in that case.
Unless you can guarantee yourself into the top 8.
The top 8. If you can get into the top 8, then diversity. But then again, that promotes people to do nothing but win. Like, if you're tired of getting cucked by diversity clause, don't lose.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to the point. One of my key competitive philosophies is this: if you're so good at this game, then things like diversity clause should not cuck you, should not prevent you from winning. Gimmicks. You should be prepared to fight literally any and everything. No matter what's in front of you, you should be prepared for it. Whether mentally or through your deck list. Mm-hmm. You should be prepared for it. And if you're not, then I'm sorry, you're not that good at this game. You're not as good as you claim to be.
Actually, Gavin, correct me if I'm wrong about this, but if I remember correctly, at Japanese Nationals, the top 2 that face off has to be one Weiss player and one Schwarz player. Is that correct?
No, that is not correct at all.
Only for Worlds?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Actually, no, I don't think that clause is correct for Worlds either.
No, it's always correct for Worlds.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every Worlds is a Schwarz versus, it's a Weiss versus Schwarz.
Well, what if there's nothing but Weiss left?
No. Here's what happens. It's basically a what do you call it? A convergence of 2 brackets.
So they're basically forcing.
Weiss plays only against Weiss until finals. And Schwarz plays only Schwarz.
But what if all 16 players at World one side? That's not likely to happen, but at the same time, if that situation happens, we have let's say 2020's World Grand Prix is 16 white sets. 16 white sets versus 16 black sets. Not likely to happen, but again, they can't necessarily force that.
It's a very good question, actually. It's either Busho just has a lot of confidence in players not going down that route, or they actually do say things like, "Oh yeah, we're already at max capacity for this side."
Dang. But at the same time, I go, okay, they have that particular clause. Let's assume that clause is correct.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go, okay. At the same time, nationals, in terms of nationals, I go, get it. It's kind of funny because a lot of people rage about the whole diversity clause as it, and they don't want to see a diversity clause. Like, can you imagine diversity in English? A diversity clause in English.
That'd be hilarious.
That would wreak havoc.
Mm-hmm.
That would wreak havoc. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean a Shingeki's over here? What do you mean I'm eliminated because of that? Because you chose to hold one of the best sets in the game. Get lost. Or let's just say, for example, and the thing is that people are like, diversity clause stems competition. I'm like, how does it stem competition? They're like, it stems competition for the sake of quote unquote originality. No, it's to prevent the format from being warped.
Mm-hmm.
It's to prevent if we didn't have diversity clause, we'd be seeing, for example, 16 data lives. And I don't know about you, man, but that sounds like a terrible tournament.
Oh, definitely. I get a lot of people would actually agree with that.
That's why we have diversity.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see nothing but 16 data lives? Like, I doubt even the differential engine would argue in favor of seeing 16 data live. I doubt, you know the differential engine better than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Would he like that type of format?
Most likely not.
Right. He's like, I don't want to slog through fucking 16 dowels. But that's kind of the whole. That's an extreme example, but at the same time, like that could happen. Mm-hmm. Or because of course, a lot of Weiss players also play fighting games, mm-hmm. and I don't necessarily agree with the fighting game community at all. I come from Call of Duty. I come from the first-person shooter line, which I go, everything is broken. Let everything broken. Let everything be broken. Let everything be fucking broken. You know, there's so much more dimensions, and you're in the JP format, which means be prepared for anything from literally Soul Sleeper Soul Rush to fucking Data Live be in front of you. And most competitive players argue, how the hell are you supposed to be ready for any matchup? Mentally. If you claim to be so good at the game, then you should have knowledge. Then you should have the knowledge to be able to beat them, regardless of what they're playing. Like, of course, there's gonna be matchups where you're just like, I have no idea what this deck does.
Research is important, people.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not necessarily illegal to peek at your opponent's translation sheets. To request to see your opponent's translation sheets and learn what their deck does through translation sheets.
I believe the correct clause for that is if a card is presented in public, your opponent may request to see a translation sheet in regards to that card.
But you're not allowed to flip through the packet.
Well, the player who is in charge of their translations has the ultimate right to it. They could, but they are not obligated to. Like, I can't show everything because we have not seen everything in my waiting room or my board.
But the majority of players will just tell you what the fuck it does.
Right, and most people will believe that is what they say is correct.
Give them the benefit of the doubt, of course. Mm-hmm. If you doubt them, pick up the card and read it yourself.
Or actually request before you call the judge, request the translation sheet. That's kind of the point of those, to avoid having to contact the judge.
No, I think you and I would just be like, yo, dog, what does it do again?
Dad, or may I read that card?
Oh yeah, sure.
And I'll be like, and if you're about to take out a translation sheet, don't bother.
What do you mean?
Well, if sometimes when people go like, when some people hear the words when you read the card, they might think you're trying to read the card with the translation. They might think you're trying to read the translation sheet because they assume that as a player in North America, you most likely don't read Japanese.
Even though Lamau I can.
Exactly. That's why I would be like, don't bother if you're attempting to take out a translation sheet.
Oh.
That's what I meant.
Like, for example, if we face off, yo, bro, what does it do again? I forget. You probably just hand me the card at that point, but like, yeah, here, dude, you can read it for yourself.
Or I could just like quickly explain it.
Hey, it's CX salvage. Oh, okay, let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. But at the same time, I go, and of course, they need to expand diversity clause. Is basically my main complaint. They need to expand the diversity clause, and pick up on, hey, this guy's playing a waifu deck. Why should the waifu deck be punished just because tier whore XYZ over there is playing the same set? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sorry, but newsflash to all you competitive players. Not everyone wants to play meta.
Or they think that playing with X waifu deck gives them an advantage against certain meta decks.
Yeah. I mean, hell, if I see a guy, you know what? If I happen to be in this, and most players will be like, what if you're put in that situation? If I'm Captain Sharon over here, I'm 5-1, looking to get into the Super 16, and I see fucking Kanon Waifu over here, also 5-1. You know what? I won't be mad if Kanon Waifu gets the fucking seat over me. I'll be pissed that I didn't get the seat at first, but when I find out they're playing Kanon Waifu, I'll give it to Kanon in this case.
Oh yeah, you earned it.
I'll fucking give it to Kanon in this case. Be like, you know what? Fuck it. You can have it. You're crazy enough to play Kanon Waifu in this high level comp, and you've done so bloody well with it. You can have it at this point. At that point.
Yeah.
Let me put you in the same boat, man.
Yeah, no, I respect it.
Like I don't think you share. I think you and I would share the same feelings.
Yeah, like okay, sure. Yeah,
you know what?
Have it.
Fuck it. Kanon Waifu, let's go, boys.
Yeah, Kanon Waifu Top 16. Let's get it.
You know who I'm cheering for in the fucking Super 16?
Right.
Kanon Waifu, let's go, boys.
Kanon Waifu, let's go.
Hell, if there's a Nesso barrier fucking Kanon that I don't own at Hamburger Girl, fuck it, I'm buying the Kanon Nesso.
Like here, just to actually help.
I'm cheering the fucking Kanon player on, man. Like, show your waifu some dedication, man.
I know, right?
But it's one of those. Yeah, I'm willing. I mean, like, for example, if I'm playing fucking Makukers is a good example. I'm playing the quote-unquote meta deck, and they're playing the fucking army deck. They're fucking playing 42x Cube 8 plus 2 souls. That's fucking good. Let's go Cube, man. That's fucking good. I mean, can you imagine Cube 16?
Yo, let's fucking go.
Cube dot deck.
Cube dot deck. Let's go.
Oh my god. But you know, I would just be amused. I would just be heavily amused.
I'll be like, yes, I got to witness this historical moment.
I will gladly give up my seat.
No, we can get that deck profile up for like doggo card reviews.
Oh hell yeah! I would request a deck profile.
Deck profile, how the day go, all that shit.
Oh yeah, I request an interview with the guy. I'd be like, shit, how the fuck did you get here? Let's fucking get it. Oh my god! But like, you know, aside from the banter here, but it's just like, it's competitive players like they'd be like, what the fuck? This advanced over me? I'm playing a competent deck. They're playing a fucking meme.
And they took that meme, did pretty well with it.
Yeah. You have to remember, they did just as well as you did with that fucking meme over there. And if you want to avoid the problem...
If you claim you want to talk the talk, you better walk the walk, right?
Exactly. You claim you're good, don't fucking lose next time.
Like, sometimes people... I feel... You know, this might be a hot take, but I feel some people that play this game get carried by their decks.
Oh, fucking yeah. Are you kidding me? Shit. Look at all the smooth brains out there, man. I mean, hell, the smooth brain doge we have on the fucking site proves it. That's how I feel about half these smooth brain. That's how I feel about half the player base, man. They get fucking smooth brain by their decks. They get fucking smooth brain. I'm just like, I mean, look at current Data Live. Look at the popular Data Live deck. They're like, fake fucking bird. Let's get it, boys. +2. I can fucking smooth brain my hand back up.
+2. We effectively playing Vanguard here, twin driving 2 cards.
I'm like, what is that fake bird? A fucking grade 3?
Apparently. check out 2 cards. It goes any characters among them. They go in your hand.
It's like what? You just drive check? Would you just drive check using the fucking?
Oh yeah, it's not a real twin drive. If the first one wins, you get nothing.
Oh yeah, true. But Lamau, imagine you just drew fucking 2 cards off that combo, guaranteed.
Okay, that's cool, fucking great.
Where's my booster for fake bird, man? 13,000 at Vanguard. Let's go.
13,000 to Vanguard.
Hey man, that's the real thing that Vanguard players say, man.
Only 13 those hard pushing numbers.
Okay, 22,000 at Vanguard. Let's fucking go.
Anyway, before we diverge too far.
Oh my, and man, we love to see where, and man, fuzzy pandas,
Fuzzy Pangas.
fuzzy pandas. But anyway, so yeah, okay, so about the top settings. Yo dog, where's our skill-based matchmaking? Does Swiss include skill-based matchmaking? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Lamau.
Oh, you wish it did.
Oh yeah. I'd love to see differential engine versus a certain boat guy. Fucking round one every time. Let's fucking go, boys. Skill-based matchmaking. Every Call of Duty player's worst nightmare. You know what's funny is TCG players don't mind skill-based matchmaking nearly as much. Like, okay, good, I get to face a good person every single round. Well, god damn it. Hey, you wanna face the sweat is always real? Here, the sweat is always real. But that would ruin the casual player's experience. That would ruin.
Actually, not necessarily. Because if you do skill-based matchmaking and all like the competent players get matched up with each other, that means more of them are eliminated as you go into later rounds than in the current system.
True, but again, skill-based matchmaking means you're facing harder opponents and getting the same points as weaker players facing weaker opponents. So I feel that a lot of competitive players would actually complain, "Wow, skill-based matchmaking. That we don't want skill-based matchmaking."
I want my easy rounds 1 to 4.
Oh no, sorry, sir. You get skill-based matchmaking. You're facing. Imagine this: Thomas the Differential Engine versus Brian Wibberley.
Down.
Or, oh yeah. Imagine all the smooth brains on a certain forum that we shall not speak the name of, facing each other consistently in early rounds and knocking each other out. Lamau.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would wager there'd be a lot of fucking complaints.
Oh, definitely.
But like, why are we knocking each other out? This is what you guys fucking wanted. You guys wanted to face good players.
Though to be fair, couldn't you technically exploit a skill-based matchmaking system?
Yes, but I also include a clause of any exploitation means permanent and immediate ban.
GG. So basically, no pretending a Smurf.
Yeah, no reverse boosting for you, sir. No reverse boosting. No smurfing, no reverse boosting. Any attempts, you get banned. Oh, we know who you are. So, have fun facing each other, boys.
To be fair, though, is it that easy to detect smurfing in a physical card game?
Yeah, it would be. Intentional misplays. Like, how can you smurf? Intentional misplays. Intentional losses, correct?
It's the idea. Or, you're in a position where you're dominant, but then you go, oh, I concede.
That's an easy. And any competent player / commentator would be like, yeah, that was a smurfing attempt. You go bye-bye. I'm like, of course, people will be like, well, it's easy to exploit skill-based matchmaking. Yes, it is. But then again, you have somebody like me who's all like, yeah, I can detect smurfing. I can detect smurfing pretty easily. I'm a Call of Duty player. I know all the tricks in the book. I know all the tricks in the goddamn book. And it's even easier in a TCG, in a physical TCG like this. It's easy.
Alright. Well, you heard from the expert himself.
Like, it's one of those things, like, and I highly doubt the competent players will abuse skill-based matchmaking. Highly doubt it, actually.
Right, but, that's the game. A skill-based matchmaking system will exploit, does open the opportunity for people who are like, I want to look like I'm performing well, but I don't want to play with the big boys. So I'm going to Smurf.
And the Smurfs can be dealt with easily. I mean, that permanent and lifetime ban, I think, would be more than enough to deal with the Smurfs.
Well, again, I guess if we're going to attempt to try and see what will be detected as what will be detected and caught as a punishable offense and what will not be.
I mean, I'll be far more, like, how should I say this? If I were in charge of said program,
A judge at every table would be one of them, right?
A judge at every table, and there will be some false positives. There will be false positives. In fact, aggressive. In fact, I'll be quite aggressive in terms of Smurf detection.
Will you allow, in the case of a possible false positive, will you allow an appeal?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Appeal process, of course, unless you can present a real good case, though, you're done. Like, I will be very conservative in terms of, I'll be fairly conservative in terms of, well, I'm letting you off the hook, but, like the big time names, don't even try.
I know what you could do. You do not play like this.
You do not play like this. Enjoy your ban. You're done.
Even they kind of go like, oh yeah, it was an off day.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't buy that. You're done. Have a nice
don't buy
day.
the off day.
But anyways, let's move on to the next one.
Sure thing. So, possibility of Bushiroad card fight. So, as we have mentioned earlier, Bushiroad hosts a sanctioned circuit known as the Bushiroad card fight in Japan during the winter and early spring months. While it would be nice for Japanese Weiss Schwarz players in North America to get an opportunity to play across 2 circuits a year, like their brethren in Japan do, it is highly unlikely Harder Cards will choose to make the arrangements with Bushiroad to set up, especially given that the spring and summer series did not continue into 2019 as mentioned earlier.
Initiate here. Like, I would love to have a BCL. I would love to. But it ain't fucking happening. That's the problem. It ain't fucking happening.
Again, Harder Cards did its own version of it that didn't succeed.
You mean that garbage?
Basically.
Garbage? Like, for real, guys? You guys did not succeed. Like, it's kind of funny because, I would love to have it, but what would be the point? It'd be like Springfest. And people would be like, Bushiroad card fight versus Springfest? Springfest it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with holding a prizeless circuit here in the States. If there is no prize for it, then players will not participate. That's the reason why the spring and summer circuit failed in 2018. That's why it bloody failed.
At least with Bushiroad Springfest, you get some very nice things like there's champion cards and in 2019 they did this very in 2019 they did this very neat thing where all 3 players on the winning team get a part, they get a medal, but you can actually connect the 3 to make a complete circular shaped medal.
Lamau.
So it's stuff like that that Bushiroad Southeast Asia has been trying better and better at to just make these spring events more enticing for players to come out and be like, yeah, I did with my team.
I didn't get carried, Lamau.
Basically, yeah.
I didn't get carried.
There was still a lot of the competitive Weiss Schwarz community, both English and Japanese alike in North America, speak pretty highly about Bushiroad Springfest. I gotta choose who I think is competent enough to play with me and achieve results that way. Because as opposed to my individual performance at the World Grand Prix / Bushiroad Championship Series.
Yep. And then I go, And then I go, what are we supposed to do, man? And then the Japanese side, yo, dog, what are you offering us? Nothing? Why should we play? Like, I just want to. Hey man, I just want to play. I just want to play some more Japanese, okay? That are not from people from this fucking town. Can I just have my wish, please?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Can I get play West with players that I don't get to play against all too often?
And art complete decks. I mean, people at nationals are fucking nicer to me than fucking people from this town, man. Then, like I said earlier, Bushiroad card fight. Offer a WGP slot. There, we instantly fixed the goddamn problem. But no, HOTC's like, we can't do that. Alright, on to the final slide.
Yep, so last but not least. So, now that a pandemic has hit, what now? So as you may have heard by now, unless you're living under some freaking rock or bunker with no connection to the outside world, the world has been affected by a new coronavirus known as SARS-CoV-2, which causes COVID-19, the corona disease of 2019, forcing many unessential businesses like local game stores to cease operations until conditions improve. As of the time of this recording, Harvey Cars has yet to confirm whether or not a North American World Grand Prix circuit will be happening for the years of 2020 and beyond. Furthermore, to ensure the health safety of players and staff, mechanisms like plastic, transparent screens on play tables, and spacing out players even at the cost of forcing a reduction in event capacity will have to take place. Participating players will also have to develop new habits like refusing to touch opponents' decks and instead telling them a spot to cut after a shuffle.
Yo, dog. When are we supposed to find out? When are we supposed to find out our WGP news? Like Lamau, seriously, for real?
Yeah, there's a very good chance I think Luke is just forced to just kind of remain hush-hush until Bushiroad Japan goes, yeah, we'll do this for y'all. But no such approval has been given yet.
I mean, I'm reading the particular Discord now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Lamau, a judge in Toronto doesn't know how Encore step works. Doesn't know how Encore works. Are you kidding me? And of course, there's been zero news about them, period. Mm-hmm. And I go, why not?
Well,
like at least tell us.
The benefit of the doubt is it is a new situation in the history of the game.
True. Now, of course, here's the theory. We could theoretically hold it this. It's going to be extremely late. All the events would have to take place within October, November time.
On top of that, it will also probably be very, very limited, where like your state has to give the approval that your local game stores in your area can actually legally operate.
California, Lamau no, right?
Correct.
Nevada, Lamau no. Arizona, Lamau no. Well, actually, technically, Arizona could do it
because of what it really is and what it really isn't, right?
It's literally Mike's house. It's literally Mike's house. So he could technically hold his WGP, but
there might be some legal repercussions for doing it that way, though.
No, well, of course, there might be legal reasons why not to, but at the same time, for also safety reasons.
Oh yeah, definitely the safety reasons.
I highly doubt Mike wants to shove, the 8 or so people he's gonna get. Actually, no. Theoretically, he might get like an army. The California army might rush over. the Californian Army
Which
might
would
rush
be
over.
the worst case scenario for anyone going to that.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. No one knows who has the virus, right?
True, but at the same time,
There's a very good chance that a Weiss Schwarz related outbreak happens there.
oh boy.
And that might actually force Bushiroad Japan to be like, this circuit is cancelled.
Damn.
Any results from this either carry over to a later year or are simply void.
Wow. Or how? Like, can you imagine the California Army invading that tiny little home in Arizona?
I'm always saying army, maybe a few daredevils.
A few daredevils.
Like
But I'm not-
those who are like, I would like to get an invite. I don't really fear getting this all that much. Let's do it.
But I'm not seeing your ass there.
Oh, definitely not.
See your ass there.
I'm gonna be honest to the people. I'm gonna be honest to those watching. Even if for some reason I can go attend again, I wouldn't. I fear for this. I'm an essential worker. I'm exposed several days a week, possibly to someone that might have it. Of course, I do my best to wear a mask and everything, but if other people are not wearing a mask, I might be screwed, right?
Right.
I don't want a chance infecting someone. I don't want a chance bringing it home because I got it from someone at an event.
Right.
I value the safety of myself, my family, and my coworkers, and other people that I encounter in public, such that I will refuse to attend such an event even if it were to happen anytime soon.
Dang.
Like, that's how much I value public health safety.
Unless it's declared safe.
Which, at the time of this recording, no.
Lamau, no.
Yeah.
Texas, for example, like any state that does hold it will be invaded.
Which is I'm starting to like fear like if there is some kind of substitute that Luke is attempting to cough up with cooperation from Bushiroad Japan, it's gonna probably have to contain a lot of different causes just to ensure public health safety, period, in the entire region.
There have to be an invasion clause at that point. I would suspect Luke would implement the invasion clause.
Like, you come from like California, you are definitely not going unless you decide to put yourself through a 14-day quarantine prior.
Same with Nevada.
Yeah.
There are 18 states that have quarantine against us. New York is one of them. So even if you manage to get through the quarantine and advance to nationals, if you're New York has pretty much that entire area has said no to half the country. Or requires a 14-day quarantine. I hope you have 2 weeks worth of money to stay at a hotel. I hope you have 2 weeks worth of money to stay at a hotel, and besides, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. I would not put myself through that kind of risk staying at a hotel. To stay at a hotel for 2 weeks.
Like, we're basically saying, like, if it somehow happens, if it's in your area, cool, but do keep in mind of whether or not New York specifically says you can come in or no you can't unless you quarantine.
And let's say, for example, you manage to advance. You happen to be our representative at once. Now you have to worry about Japan letting you.
Right. Speaking of Bushiroad, actually, it's a little off topic, but it does relate to Bushiroad. You might have heard that recently they held the Bang Dream 8th Live outdoors. They did implement some measures, like there has to be 1 seat of space between you and the person to the side of you. But,
oh dear God, no!
But that was about it. Oh yeah, and of course wear a mask when attending. And be careful with being like too loud or like risking your respiratory droplets into the crowd.
By the way, Love Live Sunshine's sixth live has been cancelled.
Yeah, I know.
Of course you would know. Of course you would know. But of course, I go, well, their live just got cancelled, and that was being held next year, if I remember correctly.
Oh no,
So,
6 Live is gonna be like pretty soon.
Well,
it's gonna be this year.
Well, it's not happening.
Yeah, they do have other lives already, but lives aside, like Bushiroad is going to try to beat the pandemic with holding an outdoor concert with limited capacity World Grand Prix regional qualifiers in Japan.
I'm surprised Bushiroad didn't up and just skip this year.
I think it just has to do with the fact that Japan's been handling the crisis pretty well after they realized that they need to stop masquerading the numbers for an Olympic event that is now cancelled.
Still, Japan's rates are going up.
They are, yes, but I feel Bushiroad is going to try its best to keep going at it until push comes to shove. Bushiroad is trying to be resilient here.
So pretty much, unless the government says, fuck off, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, that.
Pretty much, it pretty much the only thing that will stop Bushiroad at this point is legal enforcement.
Yeah.
So what about us?
What about us indeed?
What about us? Like, I'm surprised Luke hasn't said, sorry guys, we're not doing it this year. Y'all understand, I hope.
It'll be interesting to see what actually gets coughed up here at the end.
Well, Luke only has so much time left.
Yeah, we'll update y'all if we find out something by the time this video goes up in the description here.
Like, we all hope that Luke coughed, because it's already, at the time of this recording, it's late August.
Mm-hmm.
It's already late August. We're, like, by this time, half the country is already done. Half the country's already done in terms of regional invites. In fact, this time last year, I was sipping a fucking Coke with rum with the Soul Sleeper, gallivanting over our victory. Well, his victory. And we were already discussing plans of what are we going to do about Rochester. We were already making plans for Rochester at this time last year because he won already.
Mm-hmm.
And we were already in preparation. In fact, what's funny is personally, he time walked this year. He basically time walked this entire year. In terms of Weiss. He's bought a few new decks. He has Tensei Slime now. The set that just came out into English not too long ago. He's all like, well, I haven't had the opportunity to practice with Tensei Slime. I don't feel comfortable going into a big tournament like WGP with it. I'm like, why not? He's like, I just don't feel very comfortable with it. I'm like, really? He's like, it takes time for me to stretch my legs and get comfortable with the deck, dude. I guess so, but he's like, what about you? I'm like, no, I've held my guns up. I've held my guns up, and I've been in, like, I'm not out of shape, dude. Both physically and mentally in terms of Weiss. In terms of Weiss and physically speaking, no, I'm not out of shape. So literally, I tell him, look, well, I asked him, if an event were to happen this year, he's all like, and we can attend? Rush. Literally going in with Soul Rush. I'm going to go in with the Rush special I went in with 2 years ago. You're really hoping the Rush special can still hold her own? I'm like, according to you, it can. Only if you made it to Worlds. I would recommend the Rush special. Because the Rush special absolutely opens up a can opener. Carves up the competitive decks like fucking candy. But other than that, you're gonna have a hell of a time. You're gonna have a hell of a time at Worlds, but you're gonna have to, wade through everybody else. He's like, well, that's the best I can do. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. He's like, have you time walked this year? Hell no. Are you kidding me? I've kept my muscles sharp. I've kept up my Weiss playing muscles sharp. You can attest to that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you don't mess around.
Although, have you watched the last 6 weeks trims?
It's not really messing around though.
I've been getting destroyed, dude.
That's not because of you messing around.
True, I've been getting destroyed. Well,
that's more because of high rolls or low rolls more than I made a terrible misplay. Occasionally they happen. I'm not denying they happened.
There have been several. Oh crap! I misplayed terribly. Mm-hmm. But it's mostly been I've been losing to crappy dice rolls.
Mm-hmm. Which happens in a game like this.
Oh yeah. But and then I go and then I want. Well, and then he goes, "What do you want me to do about it?" I'm like, "Well, there's only so much we can do about it, man." He's like, I'd love to get back into shape, dude, Weiss-wise. I would love to get back into shape. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we need to, plan things around getting back into shape. Mm-hmm. Well, we need to start, actually stretching our Weiss muscles more. He's like, yeah, we need to find a place that we can play physical cards with. He's like, what about TTS? I'm like, no, I don't like TTS at all. I really don't like TTS. People have been resorting to Tabletop Simulator. What's funny is Luke could also do the webcam turn. Can you imagine webcam-based WG?
They will never do that.
Why not?
It would be a logistic nightmare.
They'd rather just say fuck the tournament then?
Yeah. Because you don't know what could happen on a webcam.
Cheating.
Yeah, cheating could happen. The possibility of a disconnection, which then can something like intentionally disconnect and then saying, oh yeah, internet connection problem. I guess suddenly make a major comeback.
How does that really benefit someone?
Or just think about what you could do to abuse a webcam tournament.
Oh god! They could fucking fix their gap.
Exactly. They could what's the source at Grade 5, right? Most likely gonna die. Okay, hold on. Conveniently disconnects. Reconnects a few minutes later. Sorry, we're back now. Again, cancels every fucking thing.
Oh, god damn it.
Of course, you could just make the penalty of, okay, you disconnect, GG, I'm sorry, you had an actual bad connection.
You lose.
But then, it opens a it opens a Pandora's box of problems.
Which already gives me a headache.
Exactly, which is why, it's neat that some people, third party event organizers have been looking into doing webcam-based webcam-based card game competitions, but it's because the third parties are willing to experiment, whereas the official companies are we don't necessarily condone this. Maybe someone's also using illegal cards, they're proxying, Gavin here thinks that some of the proxies I made actually look like the real thing.
Yo, dog, they do look like the real thing. Yo, dog, they do.
Someone could do that, not even have a byproduct and be like, yeah, I'm playing a deck.
I mean, goddamn, I compare the proxies to real Psychono cards. Wait, dog, they look the same. On the webcam, they look the fucking same.
With most people, Gavin, you would agree with this. Most people webcams are not hyper detailed.
Oh hell no.
Not everyone is not everyone is playing with a Sony Alpha A7S Mark III as their webcam.
God damn. Or hell, even this, or the Logitech C920.
Well, even the C920 doesn't look that amazing in general, but I mean, like, I personally use a C920 for card games. I don't know what Gavin thinks about it.
I use the 270, man.
Yeah, like, you know, like, I won't even call the C920 that detailed.
Hey, man, it provides a better picture than the fucking 270, man.
Yeah, that's not saying a lot, though.
What do you mean? Are you telling me well, the 270 is the budget cam.
It is the budget cam.
But then I go, yeah, what? But then again, HOTC threw a fit about fucking TTS, Anime Evo hosting it over TTS.
And apparently that's because of how apparently TTS uses its own community translations. Instead of like asking HOTC to be like, hey, can we use yours?
No, actually no. It's because they use HOTC translation.
No, I mean I've been told different things by different people, so I'm not even sure what's right at this point.
So we'll just oof it and move on. Just oof. But yeah, I think we've got on a tirade about goddamn World Grand Prix.
World Grand Prix and the way that Hard of Cars does things.
Oh boy. Oh, can we please just have WGP this year?
Well, any other final thoughts we want to bring up, Gavin, before we conclude?
You know what? Despite all my complaining, I am grateful that we do have a circuit to play in. I think that's the reason why most people still buy Japanese cards.
Yeah, like, if it wasn't for Hard Cards, the Japanese Weiss Schwarz community might have not gotten to where it is right now in North America.
I think it'd be just dead.
That, like, abandoning or like relegated to like very, very small pockets of the country, or the region rather. And
well, people like just play English.
Yeah. Well, I would argue that Hard Cards had a role in getting the English version over, actually.
I would say so.
So it wasn't for them. There might not have been English Weiss Schwarz period. So, you know,
so
all in all, as much as we have problems with what Hard Cards does for sanctioned play, they ultimately have made a big positive impact on the community. Can they do better to like the community can grow more? Definitely.
But as it is, you know what? We're just kind of grateful that we can even play to begin with.
So I guess with that, thank you all for watching. If you like what you saw, be sure to give that thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, ring a notification bell because
it helps the YouTube algorithm. So stay tuned next week for oh man, I think next week is card design problems. Oh boy, we have a lot to complain about there.
Yeah, that one could be quite the long one. Alright, well, until then, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.